Welcome, everyone, to another Fun Time Croakspeare production. Today we will be playing Shakespeare's The Tempest. There will be one intermission at the end of Act 3. Otherwise, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Act 1. Scene 1. We're on a ship at sea, and there's a tempestuous noise of thunder and lightning above. A master and a boatswain enter.
Bosun!
Here, master, what cheer?
Good. Speak to the mariners. Both hot Yarley. Marine, run ourselves aground. Be steer, be steer.
The master exits, and the group of mariners enter.
Hi, my hearts! Cheerily, cheerily, my hearts! Yeah, yeah! Taking the topsail, tend to the master's whistle, blow till thou burst thy wind, if room enough!
A group of nobles enter, including Sebastian, Antonio, Ferdinand, Gonzalo, and the King of Naples, Alonso.
Good boatswain, have care. Where's the master? Say the men.
I pray now, keep below.
Where's the master, bosun?
Do you not hear him? You mar our labour. Keep your cabins, you do assist the storm.
Nay, good, be patient.
When the sea is, hence, what cares these roarers for the name of a king? To cabin, silence, trouble us not.
Good, yet remember whom thou hast aboard.
None that I more love than myself. You are a counsellor. If you can command these elements to silence and work the peace of the present, we will not hand a rope more. Use your authority. If you cannot, give thanks you have lived so long, and make yourself ready in your cabin for the mischance of the hour. If it is so hap, cheerily, good hearts. Out of the way, I say.
The bosun exits.
I have great comfort from this fellow. Methinks he hath no drowning mark upon him. His complexion is perfect gallows. Stand fast, good fate, to his hanging. Make the rope of his destiny our cable, for our own doth little advantage. If he be not born to be hanged, our case is miserable.
The whole group of nobles exits, and bosun comes back in.
Down with the topmast. Yeah, lower, lower. Bring her to try with main course.
There's a cry within.
A plague upon this howling. They are louder than the weather or our office.
Sebastian, Antonio, and Gonzalo come back.
Yet again, what do you hear? Shall we give her down? Have you a mind to sink?
A pox o' your throat, you bawling, blasphemous, incharitable dog!
Work you then.
Hang her, hang you, whoreson, you insolent noise maker. We are less afraid to be drowned than thou art.
I'll warrant him for drowning, though the ship were no stronger than a nutshell and as leaky as an unstanched wedge.
Lay her a hold, a hold. Set her 2 courses off to sea again. Lay her off.
The mariners re-enter, dripping wet.
All lost. To prayers, all lost. What must our mouths be cold?
The king and prince at prayers, let assist them, for our case is as theirs.
I'm out of patience.
We are merely cheated of our lives by drunkards, this white-chapped rascal. Wouldst thou mightst lie drowning the washing of 10 tides?
He'll be hanged yet, though every drop of water sway against it and gape at widest to glut him.
Confused voices can be heard from within the ship. Mercy on us! We split, we split. Farewell, my wife and children. Farewell, brother. We split, we split, we split.
Let's all sink with the king.
Let's take leave of him.
Antonio and Sebastian exit.
Now would I give 1,000 furlongs of sea for an acre of barren ground, long heath, brown furze, anything. The wills above be done, but I will fain dry there.
Everyone exits. Scene 2. On the island before Prospero's cell. Prospero and Miranda enter.
If by your art, my dearest father, you have put the wild waters in this roar, allay them. The sky, it seems, would pour down stinking pitch, but that the sea, mountain to the welcome cheeks, dashes the bear out. Oh, I have suffered with those that I saw suffer, a brave vessel who had, no doubt, some noble creature in her, dashed all to pieces. Oh, the cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perished. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth or air. It should the good ship so have swallowed, and the floating souls within her.
Be collected, no more amazement. Tell your piteous heart there's no harm done.
Oh, would away!
No harm. I have done nothing but in care of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, I not knowing of whence I am. Nor that I am more better than Prospero, master of a full poor cell, and thy no greater father.
More to know, did never meddle with my thoughts.
This time I shall inform thee farther. Lend thy hand and pluck my magic garment from me. So,
The mantle is laid down.
lie there, my art. Wipe thou thine eyes, have comfort. The direful spectacle of the wreck, which touched with the very virtue of compassion in thee, I have with such provision in mine art so safely ordered that there is no soul, no, not so much perdition as an hair betid to any creature in the vessel, which thou heardst cry, which thou sawst sing. Sit down, for thou must know farther.
You have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped, and led me to a bootless inquisition, concluding, say, stay, not yet.
The hour's now come, the very minute bids thee ope thine ear. Obey and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came unto this cell? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wast not out 3 years old.
Certainly, sir, I can.
By what? By any other house or person? Of anything the image tell me that have kept with thy remembrance.
'Tis far off, and rather like a dream than assurance, that my remembrance warrants. Had I not 4 or 5 women once that tended me?
Thou hadst and more, Miranda. But how is it that this lives in thy mind? What seest thou else in the dark backward and abyss of time? If thou rememberst aught there ere thou camest here, how thou camest here thou mayst.
But that I do not.
12 years since, Miranda. 12 years since thy father was the Duke of Milan and the Prince of Power.
Sir, are you not my father?
Thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she said, thou must my daughter. And thy father was Duke of Milan, and thou his only heir, and princess in the worst indeed, he should.
Oh, the heavens! What foul play had we, that we came from thence? Or blessed was with it?
Both, my girl, by foul play, as thou sayest, weary haste thence, but blessedly hope hither.
Oh, my heart bleeds to think of the thing that I have turned you to, which is from my remembrance. Please you, father.
My brother and thy uncle, called Antonio, I pray thee mark me, that a brother should be so perfidious. He whom next thyself of all the world I loved, and to him put the manage of my state, as at that time though, through all signors, it was the first and Prospero the prime duke. being so reputed in dignity and for the liberal arts without a parallel. Those being all my study, the government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. Thy false uncle, dost thou attend me?
Sir, most hatefully.
Being once perfected how to grant suits, how to deny them, who to advance and who to trash for overtopping, new created the creatures that were mine, I say, or change them, or else new form them. Having both key of officer and office, set all hearts in a state to what tune pleased his ear. That now he was the ivy which had hid my princely trunk and sucked my verdure out on't. Thou attendst not.
Oh, good sir, I do.
I pray thee, mark me. I, thus neglecting worldly ends, all dedicated to closeness and the bettering of my mind, with that which but by being so retired overprized all popular rate, in my false brother awaked an evil nature, and my trust, like a good parent, did beget of him a falsehood in its contrary as great as my trust was, which had indeed no limit, a confidence sans bound. He being thus lorded not only with what my revenue yielded, but what my power might else exact, like one who, having into truth by telling of it, made such a sinner of his memory to credit his own lie, he did believe he was indeed the duke, out of the substitution and executing the outward face of royalty with all prerogative. Hence his submission growing. Dost thou hear?
Your tale, sir, would cure deafness.
To have no screen between this part he played and him he played it for, he needs will be absolute Milan. Me, poor man, my library was dukedom large enough. Of, of temporal realities he thinks me now incapable. Confederates, so dry was he for sway, with the king of Naples to give him annual tributes, do him homage, subject his crown to his crown, and vent the dukedom yet unbought. Alas, poor Milan, to most ignoble stooping.
Oh, the heavens!
Mark his condition and the event, then tell me if this might be a brother.
I should sin to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good wombs have borne pet sons.
Now the condition. The king of Naples being an enemy to me inveterate, hearkens my brother's suit, which was that he, in lieu of the promises of homage, and I know not how much tribute, should presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom, and confer fair Milan with all the honors of my brother, whereon a treacherous army levied. One midnight fated to the purpose did Antonio open the gates of Milan, and in the depth of darkness the ministers for the purpose heard dance me and thy crying self.
Alack, for pity! I, not remembering how I cried out then, will cry o'er again. It is a hint that rings mine eyes tot.
Here a little further, and then I'll bring thee to the present business, which now's upon us, without the which this story were most impertinent.
Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
Well demanded, wench. My tale provokes that question. Dear they durst not, so dear the love my people bore me, nor set a mark so bloody on the business, but with colours fairer painted their foul ends. In view they hurried us aboard the bark, bore us some leagues to sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a boat, not rigged, nor tackle, sail, nor mast. The very rats instinctively had quitted. There they hoist us, to cry to the sea that roared to us, to sigh to the winds, whose pity sighing back again did us but loving wrong.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
Oh, a cherubim thou wast that did preserve me. Thou didst smile infused with a fortitude from heaven. When I have decked the sea with drops full salt under my burden groaned, which raised in me an undergoing stomach to bear up against what should ensue.
How can we assure?
By providence divine. Some food we had and some fresh water that a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, out of his charity being then appointed master of this design, did give us, with rich garments, linen, stuffs, and necessaries, which since have studied much, so of his gentleness, knowing I loved my books, he furnished me from mine own library with volumes that I prize above my dukedom.
Would I might, but ever see that man?
Now I arise.
He
Sit still
resumes
and
his mantle.
sit still and hear the last of our sea sorrow. Here in this island we arrived, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profit than other princesses can, that have more time for vainer hours and tutors not so careful.
Heaven spank you for't. And now I pray you, sir, for still 'tis beating in my mind, your reason for raising this sea storm?
Know thus far forth by accident most strange bountiful fortune, now my dear lady, have mine enemies brought to this shore, and by my prescience I find my zenith doth depend upon a most auspicious star, whose influence if now I court not, but amid my fortunes will ever after drop. Here sees more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep, 'tis a good dullness, and give it way. I know thou canst not choose. Come away, servant. Come away, servant, come. I am ready now. Approach, my Ariel. Come.
Ariel walks in.
All hail, great master, grave sir, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds. To thy strong bidding task Ariel and all his quality.
Hast thou spirit performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the king's ship, now on the beak, now in the waist, the deck, in every cabin, I flamed amazement. Sometimes I'd divide and burn in many places. On the topmast, the yards, and the bowsprit, I would flame distinctly, then meet and join Jove's lightnings, the precursors of the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary and sight outrunning were not. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, and that the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his dread trident shake.
My brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant that this coil would not inflect his reason?
Not a soul, but felt the very fever of the mad, and played some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged into the foaming brine and quit the vessel. Then, all afire with me, the king's son, Ferdinand, with his hair upstaring, then like reeds, not hair, was the first man that leaped, cried, Hell is empty, and all the devils are here.
Why, that's my spirit. But was not this nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
But are they, Ariel, safe?
Not a hair perished, on their sustaining garments not a blemish, but fresher than before. And, as thou badest me, in troops I have dispersed them about the isle. The king's son have I landed by himself, whom I left cooling of the air with sighs in an odd angle of the isle, and sitting his arms in this sad knot.
Of the king's ship the mariners say how thou hast disposed, and all the rest of the fleet.
Safely in harbour is the king's ship, in the deep nook where once thou calledst me up at midnight to fetch dew from the still vexed Bermuths. There she's hid, the mariners all under hatches stowed, who, with a charm joined to their suffered labour, I have left asleep, And for the rest of the fleet, which I dispersed, they all met again and are upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home for Naples, supposing that they saw the king's ship wrecked and his great person perish.
Arya, thy charge exactly is performed, but there's more work. What is the time of the day?
Past the mid-season.
At least 2 glasses. The time twists 6, and now must by us both be spent most preciously.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed me.
How now, Moody? What is thou canst demand?
My liberty.
Before the time be out? No more.
I prithee, remember I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made thee no mistakings, served without grudge or grumbling. Thou didst promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou dost, and thinkst it much to tread the ooze of the salt deep, to run from the sharp wind of the north, to do me business in the veins of the earth, when it is baked with frost.
I do not, sir.
Thou liest, malignant thing! Hast thou forgot the fowl which Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgot her?
No, sir.
Thou hast. Where was she born? Speak, tell me.
Sir, in Argier.
Oh, was she so? I must once in a month recount what thou hast been, which thou forgettest. This damned witch Sycorax, her mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible to enter human hearing, from Argier thou knowest was banished. For one thing she did, they would not take her life. Is not this true?
I, sir.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and he was left by the sailors. Thou, my slave, as thou reportst thyself, was then her servant, and for thou was the spirit too delicate to act her earthy and abhorred commands, refusing her grand hests, she did confine thee by help of her more potent ministers, and in her most unmitigable rage, into a cloven pine, within which rift imprisoned thou didst painfully remain 12 years, within which space she died and left thee there, where thou didst vent thy groans as fast as mill strike. Then was this island, save for the sun that she did litter here, a freckled wolf hag born, not honored with a human shape.
Yes, Caliban, her son.
Thou think I say so. He, that Caliban, whom now I keep in service, thou best knows what torment I did find thee in. Thy groans did make wolves howl and penetrate the breast of ever angry bears. It was a torment to lay upon the damned, which Sycorax could not again undo. It was mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made thee gape the pine and let thee out.
I thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurst, I will rend an oak and peg thee in his knotty entrails till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon, master. I will be correspondent to command and do my spriting gently.
Do so, and after 2 days I will discharge thee.
That's my noble master. What shall I do? Say what? What shall I do?
Go make thyself like a nymph of the sea, be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go take this shape and hither come it. Hence with diligence.
Ariel exits.
Awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept well. Awake.
The strangeness of your story put heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come on, we'll visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answer.
It's a villain, sir. I do not love to look on.
But as this we cannot miss him, he does make us make our fire, fetch in our wood, and serves in offices that profit us. What thou, slave, Caliban, thou earth, thou. Speak.
There's wood enough within.
Come forth, I say. There's other business for thee. Come, thou tortoise. When?
Ariel comes back as a water nymph.
Fine apparition. My quaint Ariel, hark in thine ear.
My lord, it shall be done.
Ariel exits.
Thou poisonous slave, got by the devil himself upon thy wicked dam, come forth.
Caliban enters.
As wicked you as ere my mother brushed with raven's feathers from unwholesome fen, drop on you both. A southwest blow on ye and blister you all over.
For this be sure tonight thou shalt have cramps, side stitches that shall pen thy breath up, urchins shall for that vast of the night that they may work the all exercise on thee. Thou shalt be pinched as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more stinging than beast that maiden.
I must eat my dinner. This island's mine, by Sycorax my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me, and made much of me. Wouldst give me water with berries in't, and teach me how to name the bigger light and how the less that burn by day and night. And then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities o' the isle, the fresh springs, brine pits, barren place and fertile. Cursed be that I did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on you. For I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king. And here you sty me in this hard rock, whilst you do keep from me the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, whom stripes may move not kindness. I have used thee, filth as thou art, with human care, and lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
Oh ho! Would it been done? Thou didst prevent me. I had peopled else this isle with Calibans.
A poor slave which any print of goodness wilt not take, being capable of all ill. I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or other. When thou didst not savage know thine own meaning, but wouldst gabble like a thing most brutish, I endowed thy purpose with words that made them know, but thy vile race thou didst learn that had that in which good natures could not abide to be with. Therefore wast thou deservedly confined into this rock, who hadst deserved more than a prison.
You taught me language, and my profit on't is I know how to curse. The red plague rid you for learning me your language.
Hag, sit hence, fetch us in fuel, and be quick, thou art best to answer other business. Shrek's thou malice, if thou neglectst or dost unfiligree what I command, I'll rack thee with old crumbs, fill all thy bones with aches, make thee roar that beast shall tremble at thy din.
No, pray thee, I must obey. His art is of such power, it would control my damned god Setebos and make a vassal.
Oh, so slave, hence!
Caliban exits, and Ariel re-enters, but invisible, while playing and singing. And Ferdinand is in tow.
Come unto these yellow sands, and then take hands. Curtsy when you have and kissed the wild waves whist. Footed featly here and there, and sweet sprites the burthen bear. Hark, hark! Watch the watchdogs bark.
The
Hark,
watchdogs bark.
hark! I hear the strain of strutting chanticleer cry cock-a-diddle-doe.
Where should this music be? In the air or the earth? It sounds no more, and sure it waits upon some god of the island, sitting on a bank, weeping again the king my father's wreck. This music crept by me upon the waters, allaying both their fury and my passion. With its sweet air, thence I followed it, or it had drawn me rather, but 'tis gone. No, it begins again.
Full fathom 5 thy father lies, of his bones are coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer us he change into something rich and strange. Seen him sourly ring his knell. Hark, now I hear them ding-dong bell.
The ditty doths remember my drowned father. This is no mortal business, nor no sounds that the earth owes. I hear it now above me.
The fringe curtains of thine eye advance and say what seest yond.
'Tis a spirit? Lord, how it looks about! Believe me, sir, it carries a brain form, but 'tis a spirit.
No, wench, it eats and sleeps and hath such a senses as we have such. This gallant which thou seest was in the wreck, but he's something stained with grief that beauty's cankers thou mightst call him a goodly person. He hath lost his fellows and strays about to find them.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
It goes on, I see, as my soul prompts it. Spirit, fine spirit, I'll free thee within 2 days for this.
Most sure the goddess on whom these airs attend. Vouchsafe my prayer, may know if you remain upon this island, and that you will some good instruction give, how I may bear me hence. My prime request, which I do last pronounce, is, oh, you wonder if you be maid or no?
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language! Heavens! I am the best of them that speak this speech, were I but where 'tis spoken.
How, the best? What wert thou if the King of Naples heard thee?
A single thing, as I am now, that wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. He does hear me, and that he does I weep. Myself am Naples, who with mine eyes never since at ebb beheld the king, my father, wrecked.
Alack for mercy!
Yes, faith, and all his lords, the Duke of Milan and his brave son being twain.
The Duke of Milan and his more braver daughter could control thee, if now 'twere fit to it. At the first sight they have changed eyes. Delicate Ariel, I will set thee free for this. A word, good sir. I fear you have done yourself some wrong. A word.
Speaks my father so ungently. This is the third man that I saw, the first that I sat for. Pity move my father to be inclined my way.
Oh, if a virgin and your affection not gone forth, I'll make you the Queen of Naples.
Soft, sir, one word more. They are both in either's powers, but this with business I must uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light. One word more I charge thee that thou attend me. Thou dost here absorb the name thou owest not, and hast put thyself upon this island as a spy to win it from me, the Lord on it.
No, as I am a man.
There's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. If the ill spirit have so fair a house, good things will strive to dwell with it.
Follow me. Speak not you for him, he is a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together, sea water shalt thou drink. Thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels, withered roots and husk wherein the acorn cradled. Follow.
No, I will resist such entertainment till mine enemy has more power.
Ferdinand draws, but is charmed from moving.
Oh, dear father, make not too rash try of him, for he is gentle and not fearful.
What? I say, my foot, my tutor? Put thy sword up, traitor, who makes the show, but dares not strike. Thy conscience is so possessed with guilt. Come from thy words, for I can here disarm thee with this stick, and make thy weapon drop.
Beseech you, father.
Hence, hang not on my garments.
Sir, have pity. I'll be his surety.
Silence! One word more shall make me chide thee, if not hate thee. What, an advocate of an impostor! Hush! Thou thinkst there is no more such shapes as he, having seen but him and Caliban. Foolish wench, to the most of men, this is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
My affections are the most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on, obey, thy nerves are in their infancy again, and have no vigor in them.
So they are. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. My father's loss, the weakness which I feel, the wreck of all my friends, nor this man's threats to whom I am subdued, are but light to me. Might I but through my prison once a day behold this maid, all corners else for the earth, let liberty make use of. Space enough have I in such a prison.
It works. Come on, thou hast done well, fine Ariel. Follow me. Hark what thou else shalt to me.
Be of comfort, my father's of a better nature, sir, than he appears by speech. This is unwanted, which now came from him.
Thou shalt be free as mountain winds, but then exactly do all points of my command.
To the syllable.
Come, follow, speak not for him.
They all exit. Act 2. Scene 1. Another part of the island. Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Gonzalo, Adrian, Francisco, and other shipwrecked lords enter.
Beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause, so have we all, of joy, for our escape is much beyond our loss. Our hint of war is common. Every day some sailor's wife, the masters of some merchant, and the merchant have just our seam of woe. But for the miracle, I mean our preservation, few in millions can speak like us. Then, wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Ah, pity thee.
He receives comfort like cold porridge.
The visitor will not give him or so.
Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by it will strike.
Sir,
One, tell.
when every grief is entertained that's offered comes to the entertainer,
$1?
the law comes to him. Indeed, you have spoken truer than you purposed.
You have taken it wiselier than I meant you should.
Therefore, my lord,
5, when a spendthrift is he of his tongue.
I prithee spare.
well, I have done, but yet
He will be talking.
Five, what a spendthrift is he of his tongue.
Oh, I prithee thee.
Which of he or Adrian for a good wager first begins to crow?
The old cock.
The cockerel.
Done. The wager?
A laughter.
A match.
Though this island seems to be desert,
Ha ha ha. So, you're paid.
uninhabitable and almost inaccessible,
Yet.
yet
He could not list.
it must needs be of subtle, tender, and delicate temperament.
Temperament. The temperance was a delicate wench.
Aye, and a subtle, as he most learnedly delivered.
The air breathes upon us here most sweetly.
As it had lungs, and rotten ones.
Or as 'twere perfumed by a fan.
he is everything advantageous to life.
True, safe means to live.
Of that there's none. Or little.
How lush and lusty the grass looks, how green.
The ground indeed is stony.
With an eye of green in it?
He misses not much.
No, he doth but mistake the truth totally.
But the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit,
As many vouched rarities are.
that our garments, being as they were drenched in the sea, hold notwithstanding their freshness and glosses, being rather new dyed than stained with salt water.
If but one of his pockets could speak, would it not say he lies?
Aye, or very falsely pocket up his report.
Methinks our garments are now as fresh as when we put them on first in Africa at the marriage of the king's fair daughter Claribel to the king of Tunis.
'Twas a sweet marriage, and we prosper well in our return.
Tunis was never graced before with such a paragon to their queen.
Not since widow Dido's time.
Why though? A pox of that. How came that why though in? Why though Dido?
What if he had said widower Aeneas, too? Good lord, how you take it.
Widow Dido, said you? You make me study of that. She was of Carthage, not of Tunis.
This Tunis was Carthage.
Carthage?
I assure you, Carthage.
His word is more than of the miraculous harp. He hath raised the wall and houses, too.
What impossible matter will he make easy next?
I think he will carry this island home in his pocket and give it his son for an apple.
And sowing the kernels of it in the sea, bring forth more islands.
Aye.
Why, in good time.
So we were talking that our garments seem now as fresh as when we were at Tunis at the marriage of your daughter, who is now queen.
And the rarest that e'er came there.
Bait, I beseech you, Widow Dido.
Oh, widow Dido, eh? Widow Dido.
Is not my doublet as fresh as the first day I wore it? I mean, in a sword.
That sword was well fished for.
When I wore it at your daughter's marriage.
Cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. But I had never married my daughter there. But coming thence, my son is lost, and in my rage she too, who is so far from Italy removed, I durst not save her. O thou mine Herrn of Milan, what strange fish hath made his meal on thee?
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him and ride upon their backs. He trod the water whose enmity he flung aside, and breasted the surge most swoln that meet him. His bold head above the contentious waves he kept, and oared himself with his good arms, and thus he stroked to the shore that o'er his wave-worn basis bowed, as stooping to relieve him, I not doubt he came alive to land.
No, it's gone.
Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss, that would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but rather lose her to an African, where she, at least, is banished from your eye, who hath cause to wet the grief on it.
Yes.
You were kneeled to and importuned otherwise by all of us, and the fair soul herself, weighed between loathness and obedience, at which end the beam should bow. We have lost your son, I fear, forever. Milan and Naples have more widows in them of this business's making than we bring men to comfort them. The fault's your own.
Oh, is it dearest boss?
My lord Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness, and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
And most Chirurgy only.
It is foul weather in us all, good sir, when you are cloudy.
Foul weather?
Very foul.
Had I plantation of this isle, my lord?
He'll sow it with nettle seed.
Or docks, or mallows.
And were the king on't, what would I do?
Escape being drunk for want of wine.
I, the Commonwealth, I would by countries execute all things, for no kind of traffic would I admit, no name of magistrate, letters should not be known, riches, poverty, and use of service none, contract, succession, bound of land, tilt, vineyard none, no use of metal, corn, or wine, or oil, no occupation, all men idle, all, and women too, but innocent and pure, no sovereignty.
Yet he would be king on it.
The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
All things in common nature should produce without sweat or endeavor. Treason, felony, sword, pike, knife, gun, or need of any engine would I not have. But nature should not bring forth of its own kind all poison, all abundance to feed my innocent people.
No marrying among his subjects?
No man, all idle knaves.
I would with such perfection govern, sir, to excel the golden age.
God save his majesty.
Long live Gonzalo.
And do you mark me, sir?
Pretty, no more. Thou dost talk nothing to me.
I do well believe your highness, and did it to minister occasion to these gentlemen, who are of such sensible and nimble lungs that they always used to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
Who in this kind of merry fooling am nothing to you, so you may continue and laugh at nothing still.
What a blow was there given!
And it had not fallen flat long.
You, a gentleman of brave metal, you would lift the moon out of her sphere if she would continue in it 5 weeks without change.
Ariel enters, still invisible, playing solemn music.
We would so, and then go a bat fowling.
Nay, good my lord, be not angry.
No, I warrant you, I will not adventure my discretion so weakly. Will you laugh me asleep, for I am very heavy.
Uh, go sleep and hear us.
Everyone except Alonso, Sebastian, and Antonio falls asleep.
What? Oh, so soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would with themselves shut up my thoughts. I find they are inclined to do so.
Please you, sir, do not omit the heavy offer of it. It seldom visits sorrow. When it doth, it is a comforter.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you. Dangerous heavy.
Alonso falls asleep, and Ariel exits.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
It is the quality of the climate.
Why doth it not then our eyelids sink? I find it not myself disposed to sleep.
Nor I, my spirits are nimble. They fell together all, as by consent they dropped, but as by a thunderstroke. What might, worthy Sebastian? Oh, what might? No more, and yet methinks I see it in thy face what thou shouldst be. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What, art thou waking?
Do you not hear me speak?
I do, and surely it is a sleepy language, and thou speakst out of thy sleep. What is it thou didst say? This is a strange response to be asleep with wides wide open, standing, speaking, moving, and yet so fast asleep.
Noble Sebastian, thou letst thy fortune sleep, thy rather. Wings too whilst thou art waking.
Thou dost snore distinctly. There's meaning in thy snores.
I am more serious than my custom. You must be so too, if heed me, which to do troubles thee are.
Well, I am standing water.
I'll teach you how to flow.
Do so, to ebb hereditary sloth instructs me.
Oh, if you but knew how you the purpose cherish, whilst thus you mock it, how in stripping it you more invested. Ebbing men indeed most often do so near the bottom run by their own fear or sloth.
Prithee, say on. The setting of thine eye and cheek proclaim a matter from thee, and a birth indeed which throws thee much to yield.
Thus, sir, although this lord of weak remembrance, this who shall be of as little memory when he is earthed, hath here almost persuade, for he is a spirit of persuasion, only professors to persuade, the king's sons alive. 'Tis as impossible that he is undrowned and that he that sleeps here swims.
I have no hope that he is undrowned.
Oh, out of that no hope. What great hope have you? No hope that way is another way, so high a hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wing beyond. But thou discover it there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who's the next heir of Naples?
Clarabelle.
She that is Queen of Tunis. She that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life. She that from Naples can have no note unless the sun were paused. The man in the moon too slow. Till Newborn chins be rough and razorable. She that. From whom? We all were sea swallows, though some cast again, and by that destiny to perform an act whereof what's past is prologue, what to come in yours and my discharge.
What stuff is this? How say you? 'Tis true, my brother's daughter's queen of Tunis. So is she heir to Naples. Twixt which reason there is some space.
A space whose every cubit seems to cry out, how shall that claribel measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis and let Sebastian wake. Say, these were death that now hath seized them. Why, they were no worse than now they are. There be that can rule Naples as well as he that sleeps. Lords that can prate as amply and unnecessarily as this Gonzalo. I myself could make a chaff of a steep chat. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do. What a sleep word is for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
And how does your content tender your own good fortune?
I remember you did supplant your brother Prospero.
True, and look how well my garments sit upon me, much fitter than before my brother's servants were than my fellows. Now they are my men.
But for your conscience?
I, sir, where lies that? If 'twere a kite, would put me to a slipper, but I feel not this deity in my bosom. 20 consciences that stand twixt me and Milan, can't it be they and melt they most? Are they most? Here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon. If he were that which now he's like, that's dead, whom I with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it can lay to bed forever, whilst you doing thus to the perpetual wink, for I might put this angel more so, this Sir Prudence, who should not abrade our course. For all the rest, they'll take suggestion as a cat laps milk. They'll tell the clock to any business that we say befits the hour.
Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou got'st Milan, I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword, one stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together, and when I rear my hand, you do the like to fall it on Gonzalo.
Oh, but one word.
They talk apart, and Ariel re-enters, invisible.
My master through his art foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth, for else his project dies, to keep them living. While you here do snoring lie, open-eyed conspiracy his time doth take. If of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware. Awake! Awake!
Then let us both be sudden.
Now, good angels, preserve the king.
Everyone wakes up at Gonzalo's cry.
How now? Oh, awake! Why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking?
What's the matter?
Whiles we stood here securing your repose, even now we heard a hollow burst of bellowing like bulls, or rather lions. Did it not wake you? It struck mine ear most terribly.
I heard nothing.
Oh, 'twas a din to fright a monster's ear to make an earthquake. Sure, it was the roar of a whole herd of lions.
Did you this, Gonzalo?
Upon my honor, sir, I heard a humming, and that a strange one too, which did awake me. I shaked you, sir, and cried. As mine eyes opened, I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise. That's where it is best we stand upon our guard, and or that we quit this place. Let's draw our weapons.
Get off this ground. Let's make further search. For my poor son.
Heavens keep him from this beast, for he is sure in the island.
Lead away.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son.
Everyone exits. Scene 2. Another part of the island. Caliban enters with a load of wood, and there's a thunderclap.
All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats on Prosper fall and make him by inch meal a disease. His spirits hear me, and yet I needs must curse. But they'll nor pinch, fright me with urchin shows, pitch me in the mire, nor lead me like a firebrand in the dark out of my way, unless he bid 'em. But for every trifle they set upon me, sometimes like apes that mow and chatter at me, and after bite me, then like hedgehogs which lie tumbling in my barefoot way and mount their pricks at my footfall. Sometimes I am all wound with adders, who with closen tongues do hiss me into madness.
Trinculo enters.
Lo, now, lo! Here comes a spirit of his, and to torment me for bringing the wood in slowly, I'll fall flat. Perchance he will not mind me.
Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all, and another storm brewing. I hear it sing in the wind. Yon same black cloud, yon huge one, looks like foul bombard that would shed his liquor. If it should thunder as it did before, I know not where to hide my head. Yon same cloud cannot choose but fall by pailfuls. Why have we here? What have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? A fish. He smells like a fish, a very ancient and fish-like smell, a kind not of the newest, poor John. A strange fish. Were I in England now, as once I was, and had but this fish painted, not a holiday fool there would give me a piece of silver. They would this monster make a man. A strange beast there makes a man. When they will not give a dolt to relive a lame beggar, they will lazily out 10 to see a dead Indian, legged like a man, and his fins like arms, warm, oh my troth. I do now let loose my opinion, hold it no longer. This is no fish, but an islander, that hath lately suffered by a thunderbolt.
Another thunderclap.
Alas, the storm is come again. My best way is to creep under his gabardine. There is no other shelter hereabouts. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. I will here shroud till the dregs of the storm be past.
Stefano comes in, singing. He holds a bottle in his hand.
I shall no more to see to hear shall I die ashore. This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. The master, the swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gunner and his maid, love Mal, Meg, and Mary, and Mardu, but none of us cared for Kate. For she had a tongue with to hang, would hide her a sailor go hang. She loved not the saviour of Tarn nor of Fitch. It a tailor might scratch her where she did itch. Then to see boys and let her go hang. This is a scurvy tune too. But here's my comfort.
Do not torment me. Oh,
What's the matter? Have we devils here? You put tricks upon with savages and men of India? I have not scaped doubting to be afeard now of your 4 legs. For it hath been said, as proper a man as ever went on 4 legs cannot make him give ground, and it shall be said so again while Stefano breathes at nostrils.
The spirit torments me. Oh,
This is some monster dead with 4 legs. What God does I take it, Anagia? Where the devil should he learn our language? I will give him some relief, if it be but for that. If I can recover him and keep him tame and get to Naples with him, he is a present for any emperor that ever trod on neat's leather.
do not torment me. Prithee, I'll bring my wood home faster.
He's in his fit now, and does not talk after it, or is it? He shall taste of my bottle. If he have never drunk wine afore, will go near to remove his fit. If I can recover him and keep him tame, I will not take too much for him. Shall pay for him that had him, and that soundly.
Thou dost me yet but little hurt. Thou wilt anon, I know it by thy trembling. Now prosper works upon thee.
Come on your ways, open your mouth. Here is that which will give you language to you. Cat, open your mouth. This will shake your shaking, I can tell you, and that soundly. I cannot tell who's your friend. Open your chaps again.
I should know that voice. It should be. But he is drowned, and these are devils. Oh, defend me.
4 legs and 2 voices. The most delicate monster. His forward voice now is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is utter foul speeches and to detract. If all wine my bottle will recover him, I will help his ague. Come, amen. I will pour some into thy other mouth.
Stefano!
What thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy! This is the devil, no monster. I will leave him. I have no long spoon.
Stefano, if thou be a Stefano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Trinculo. Be not afeard, thy good friend Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I'll pull thee by the lesser legs. If any be Trinculo's legs, yes they are. Thou art very Trinculo indeed. How comest thou to be the siege of the moon calf? Can he vent Trinculos?
I took him to be killed with a thunderstroke, but art thou not drowned, Stefano? I hope now thou art not drowned. Is the storm overblown? I hid me under the dead mooncalf's gabardine for fear of the storm. And art thou living, Stefano? Oh, Stefano, 2 Neapolitans escaped!
Pretty, do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be fine things. And if they be not sprite, that's a brave god and bears celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How dost thou escape? How camest thou hither? I swear by this bottle, how thou camest hither. I escaped upon but a butt of sack which the sailors hid overboard by this bottle, which I made of the bark of a tree with mine own hands since I was cast ashore.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
Here, swear then how thou escapest.
So I'm a shoreman, like a duck. I can swim like a duck, I'll be sworn.
Right here, kiss the book. So thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose.
Oh, Stefano, hast any more of this?
A whole butt, man. My cellar is on a rock by the seaside where my wine is hid. And now, mooncalf, how dost thine again?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
How the moon? I do assure thee, I was the man in the moon when time was.
I've seen thee in her, and I do adore thee. My mistress showed me thee and thy dog in no bush.
Come, swear to that. Kiss the book. I will this it anon, but no content swear.
By this good light, this is a very shallow monster. I, afeard of him, a very weak monster. The man in the moon, a most poor, credulous monster. Well-drawn monster, in good sooth.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island, and I will kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my god.
By this light, a most perfidious and drunken monster. When God's asleep, he'll rob his bottle.
I'll kiss thy foot. I swear myself thy subject.
Come on then, down and swear.
I shall laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster, a most scurvy monster. I could find it in my heart to beat him.
Tongue kiss.
But that poor monster's in drink, an abominable monster.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries, I'll fish for thee, and get thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks, but follow thee, thou wondrous man.
A most ridiculous monster to make a wonder of a poor drunkard.
I prithee thee, let me bring thee where crabs grow, and I with my long nails will dig thee pignuts, show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. I'll bring thee to clustering filberts, and sometimes I'll get thee young scannels from the rock. Wilt thou go with me?
Prithee now, lead the way. Sorry.
Oh, Jesus, I've drank too much. I prithee now, lead the way without any more talking. Piccolo, the king and all our company us being drowned. We will inherit here. Here, bear my bottle. Follow Trinculo. We will fill him by and by again.
Farewell, master, farewell, farewell.
A howling drunken monster. A drunken monster.
No more dams I'll make for fish, nor fetch him firing, requiring, nor scrape trencher, nor wash dish. Ban, Caliban has a new master. Get a new man. Freedom, heyday, freedom, freedom, heyday, freedom.
Oh, brave monster, lead the way.
And they all stagger off stage. That is the end of Act 2. We will now take a 15-minute intermission, get some water, and we will be back at roughly 9 p.m. British Standard Time. Welcome back to this Funtime Croakspeare production of The Tempest. We are now into the third act of the play. Act 3. Scene 1. In front of Prospero's cell. Ferdinand enters, carrying a log.
There be some sports are painful, and their labour delight in them sets off. Some kinds of barely undergone, and most poor matters point to rich ends. This, my mean task, would be as heavy to me as odious, but the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead, and makes my labours pleasures. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her father's crabbed, and he's composed of harshness. I must remove some thousands of these logs and pile them up upon a sore injunction. My sweet mistress weeps when she sees me work, and says such baseness had never like executor. I forget, but these sweet thoughts do even refresh my labours, most busy lest when I do it.
Miranda enters, and Prospero follows her at a distance without seeing.
Alas, now, pray you, work not so hard. Oh, would the lightning had burnt up those logs that you are enjoined to pile. Pray, sit down and rest you. When this burns, twill weep for having wearied you. My father is a hard at study. Pray now, rest yourself. He's safe for these 3 hours.
Oh, most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I bear your logs the while. Pray, give me that. I'll carry it to the pile.
No, precious creature, I'd rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonour undergo, while I sit lazy by.
It would become me as well as it does you, and I should do it with much more ease, for my good will is to it, and yours it is against.
Poor worm. Thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
You look wearily.
No, noble mistress, 'tis fresh morning with me when you are by at night. I do beseech you, chiefly that I might set in my prayers. What is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my father, I have broke your head to say so.
Admired Miranda. Indeed, the top of admiration, worth what's dearest to the world. Full many a lady I have eyes with best regard, and many a time the harmony of their tongues hath into bondage brought my too diligent ear. For several virtues have I liked several women, never any with so fun soul, but some defect in her did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed, and put it to the foil. But you, oh you, so perfect and so peerless, are created of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex. No woman's face remember, save from my glass, mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call man than you, good friend, and my dear father. How features are abroad, I am skilless of, but by my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you, nor can imagination form a shape besides yourself to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's percepts I daren't forget.
I am in my condition a prince, Miranda. I do think a king. I would not so, and would no more endure this wooden slavery than to suffer the flesh fly blow my mouth. Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you, did my heart fly to your service. There resides to make me slave to it, and for your sake, I am this patient log man.
Do you love me?
O heaven, O earth, bear witness to this sound and crown what I profess with kind event if I speak true. If hollowly, invert what best is boded me to mischief. I, beyond all limit of what else in the world, do love, prize, honour you.
I full to weep at what I'm glad of.
Fair encounter of two most rare affections. Heavens rain grace on that which breeds between them.
Wherefore weep you?
Mine unworthiness that dare not offer what I desire to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. But this is tripling, and all the more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. Hence bashful cunning, and prompt me plain holy innocence. I am your wife, if you will marry me. If not, I'll die your mate. To be your fellow you may deny me, but I'll be your servant, whether you will or no.
My mistress, dearest, and I thus humble ever.
My husband, then?
I, with a heart as willing as bondage year of freedom. Here's my hand.
And mine, with my heart in't. And now farewell, till half an hour hence.
1,000,000.
Ferdinand and Miranda exit.
So glad of this as I cannot be, who are surprised withal. But my rejoicing at nothing can be more. I'll to my book, for yet ere supper time must I perform much business appertaining.
And Prospero exits. Scene 2. On another part of the island. Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo enter.
But me, when the butt is out, we will drink water, not a drop before. Therefore bear up and boredom. Servant monster, drink to me.
Servant monster! The folly of this island. They say there's but 5 upon the isle. We are 3 of them. If the other 2 be brained like us, the state totters.
Drink, servant monster, when I bid thee. Thy eyes are almost set in thy head.
Where should they be set else? He were a brave monster indeed if they were set in his tail.
My man monster, hath drowned his tongue in sack. For my part, the sea cannot drown me. I swam ere I could recover from the shore, 35 leagues off and on. By this light, thou shalt be my lieutenant, monster, or my standard.
You're a lieutenant, if you list. He's no standard.
We'll not run, monsieur, monster.
No, nor go neither, but you'll lie like dogs and yet say nothing neither.
Calf, speak once on thy life, if thou beest a good mooncalf.
How dost thy honour? Let me lick thy shoe. I'll not serve him. He's not valiant.
Thou liest, most ignorant monster. I am in case to justle a constable. Why, thou debauched fish, thou, if there ever man a coward that hath drunk so much as sack as I today, wilt thou tell a monstrous lie, being but half a fish and half a monster?
Lo, how he mocks me. Wilt thou let him, my lord?
Lord, quoth he, that a monster should be such a natural.
Lo, again! Bite him to death, I prithee.
Trinculo, keep a good tongue in your head. If you prove mutineer, next tree. The monster is my subject. He shall not suffer indignity.
I thank my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit I made to thee?
Marry, will I kneel it, feed it, stand. So, Trinculo.
Ariel enters, once again invisible.
As I told thee before, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer that by his cunning hath cheated me of the island.
Thou liest.
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou! I would my valiant master would destroy thee. I do not lie.
Trinculo, if you trouble him any more in his tale, this hand I will supplant some of your teeth.
Why, I said nothing.
And then no more. Proceed.
I say, by sorcery he got this isle. From me he got it. If thy graceness will revenge it on him. For I know thou darest, but this thing dare not.
That's more certain.
Thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
How now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Ye, my lord, I'll yield him thee asleep, where thou mayst knock a nail into his bead.
Thou liest, thou canst not.
What a pied ninny is this, thou scurvy patch? I do beseech thy greatness, give him blows and take his bottle from him. When that's gone, he shall drink naught but brine, for I'll not show him where the quick freshes are.
Trinculo! Run into no further danger. Interrupt the monster one word further, and by this hand I'll turn my mercy out of doors and make a stockfish of thee!
Why? What did I? I did nothing. I'll go further off.
It does not say he lied.
Thou liest.
Ah, do I so? Take thou that.
He beats Trincula.
Do you like this? Give me the lie another time.
I did not give the lie. Out of your wits and bearing too. Pox of your bottle. This can sack and drinking do. A murrain on your monster and the devil take your fingers.
Ha ha ha!
Now, forward with your tail. Pretty? Harder off.
Beat him enough. After a little time, I'll beat him too.
And farther. Come, proceed.
Why, as I told thee, 'tis a custom with him in the afternoon to sleep. There thou mayst brain him, having first seized his books, or with a log batter his skull, or paunch him with a stake, or cut his weasand with thy knife. Remember first to possess his books, for without them he's but a sot, as I am, nor hath not one spirit to command. They all do hate him as rootedly as I. Burn his books. He has brave utensils, for so he calls them, which when he has a house he'll deck withal, and that most deeply to consider is the beauty of his daughter. He himself calls her a nonpareil. I never saw a woman, but only Sycorax my dam, and she has far surpassed Sycorax, as does greatest does least.
Oh, brave lass.
Ay, lord, she will become thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth brave brood.
Monster, I will kill this man, his daughter, and I will be king and queen. Save our graces. Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroys. Thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent.
Give me thy hand. I am sorry I beat thee, but while thou livest, good tongue, tongue, keep a good tongue in thy head.
Within this half hour, will he be asleep? Wilt thou destroy
I, mine honor.
This will I tell my master.
Thou makes me merry. I am full of pleasure. Let us be jocund. Will you troll the catch? You taught me but while here.
Ah, at thy request, monster. I will do reason, any reason. Untrinculo, let us sing. Scatum and scatum and flautum tot is free.
That's not the tune.
Ariel plays the tune on a tabor and pipe.
What is this, Sam?
This is the tune of our catch, played by the picture of nobody?
Thou beest the man, show thyself when thou likest. If thou beest the devil, takes as thou list.
Oh, forgive me my sins.
He that dies pays all debts. I defy thee. Mercy upon us.
Art thou afeard?
No monster. I.
Be not afeard. The isle is full of noises, sounds and sweet airs, that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears, and sometimes voices that, if I then had waked after a long sleep, will make me sleep again. And then, in dreaming, the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me, that, when I waked, I cried to dream again.
This will prove a brave kingdom. I'll have my music.
When Prospero is destroyed.
That shall be and by. Be by and by, I remember the story.
The sound is going away. Let's follow it and after do our work.
Lead, monster. Follow. What I could see this taper is it on.
Wilt come? I'll follow, Stefano.
And the gang exits. Scene 3. Another part of the island. The crew of lords enter, with Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Gonzalo, Adrian, Francisco, and others.
Pero I can go no further, sir. My old bones ache. He is a maestro indeed. Through 4 frights and meanders. By your patience, I needs must rest me.
Oh Lord, I cannot blame thee, for myself, attached with weariness to the dulling of my spirits. Sit down and rest. Even here I'll put off my hope, and keep it no longer for my flatterer. He is drowned, whom thus we try to find, and the sea mocks are frustrate set on land. Well, let him go.
I am right glad that he's so out of hope. Do not for one repulse forget the purpose that you yourself to effect.
The next advantage we will take thoroughly.
Let it be tonight, for now they are oppressed with travel. They will not, nor cannot use such vigilance as when they are fresh.
I say tonight, no more.
Suddenly, some solemn and strange music starts playing.
What harmony is this? My good friends, hark!
Marvelous sweet music.
Prospero enters above, but invisible. And now several strange shapes enter and bring in a banquet. They dance around the banquet with gentle, salutating actions, and, as they invite the king and his company to eat, they depart.
Give us kind keepers, heavens! What were these?
Oh, living drollery. Now, I will believe that there are unicorns, that in Arabia there is one tree, the phoenix throne, one phoenix at this hour reigning there.
I'll believe both. What does else want credit come to me? And I'll return this road, travels ne'er did lie. Thou fools at home condemn them.
If in Naples I should report this now, would they believe me? If I should say I saw such islanders, for certes those are people of the island, who though they are of monstrous shape, yet note their manners are more gentle kind than of our human generation you shall find many, nay, almost any.
Honest lord, thou hast said well. For some of you there present are worse than devils.
I cannot too much muse. Such shapes, such gestures, such sound, expressing, although they want the use of tongue, a kind of excellent discourse.
Praising departing.
They vanished strangely.
No matter, since they have left their viands behind, for we have stomachs. Will please you to taste of what is here.
I?
Faith, sir, you need not fear. When we were boys, who would believe that there were mountaineers, dew-lapped like bulls whose throats had hanging at them wallets of flesh, or that there were such men whose heads stood in their breasts, which now we find each put out of 5 for 1 will bring us good warrant of.
I will stand to and feed, although my last. No matter, since I feel the best is past. Brother, my lord the duke, stand to and do as we.
A sudden bolt of thunder and lightning. Ariel enters in the shape of a harpy with wings that clap upon the table, and suddenly the banquet is gone.
You are 3 men of sin, whom destiny that hath to instrument his lower world and what is in it, the never surfeited sea hath caused to belch up you. And on this island where man doth not inhabit, you, mongst men being most unfit to live, I have made you mad. And even with such like valor men hang and drown their proper selves.
Alonso, Sebastian, and the rest of the lords draw their swords.
You fools! I and my fellows are ministers of fate. The elements, of whom your swords are tempered, may as well wound the loud winds, or with bemocked at stabs kill the still closing waters, as diminish one dowel that's in my plume. My fellow ministers are like invulnerable. If you could hurt, your swords are now too massy for your strengths, and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that's my business to you, that you 3 from Milan did supplant good Prospero, exposed unto the sea, which hath requited him and his innocent child. For which foul deed the powers, delaying, not forgetting, have incensed the seas and shores, yea, all the creatures against your peace. Thee of thy son, Alonso, they have bereft, and do pronounce by me lingering perdition, worse than any death can be at once, shall step by step attend you and your ways, whose wraths do guide you from, which here, in this most desolate isle, else falls upon your heads, is nothing but heart sorrow and a clear life ensuing.
Ariel vanishes with another thunderclap, and then, to soft music, the strange shapes enter again, dancing and carrying out the banquet table.
Bravely the figure of this harpy hast thou performed, my Ariel. A grace's heart devouring, of my instruction hast thou nothing bated in what thou hadst to say. So, with good life and observation strange, my minor ministers, their several kinds have done. My high charms work, and these mine enemies are all knit up in their distractions, they are in my power. And in this feast I leave them, while I visit young Ferdinand, whom they suppose is drowned, and his and my love darling.
And Prospero exits.
In the name of something holy, so why stand you in this strange stare?
Monstrous! Monstrous! Methought the beloved spoke and told me of it. The winds did sing it to me, and the thunder, a deep and dreadful organ pipe, pronounced the name of Prosper. It had passed my trespass, therefore my son he was suspended, and I'll sink him deeper than ill beloved sounded, and with him till I mother.
Alonso exits in tears.
But one fiend at a time I'll fight their legions o'er.
I'll be thy second.
Sebastian exits with Antonio in tow.
All three of them are desperate. Their great guilt, like poison given to walk a great time after, now joins to bite their spirits. I do beseech you, that are of suppler joints, follow them swiftly, and hinder them from what this ecstasy may now provoke them to.
Follow, I pray you. And they exit as well. Act 4. Scene 1. In front of Prospero's cell. Prospero, Ferdinand, and Miranda enter.
If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation makes amends, for I have given you here a third of mine own life, or that for which I live. Once again I tender to thy hand, all thy vexations were but my trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test here. Afore heaven I ratify this my rich gift. O Ferdinand, do not smile at me that I boast her of, for thou shalt find she will outstrip or praise, and make it halt behind her.
I do believe it, against an oracle.
Then, as my gift and thine own acquisition worthily purchased, take my daughter. But if thou dost break her virgin knot before all sanctimonious ceremonies made with full and holy rite be ministered, no sweet aspersion shall the heavens let fall to make this contract grow, but barren hate, sour eye, disdain, and discord shall bestrew the union of your bed with weed so lovely that you shall hate it both. Therefore, take heed, and as Hymen's lamps shall light you.
As I hope for quiet days, fair issue, and long life with such love as 'tis now, the murkiest den, the most opportune place, the strong suggestion our worser genius can, shall never melt mine honour into lust, to take away the edge of that day's celebration, when I shall think, or Phoebus' steeds are thus founders, or night kept chained below.
Fairly spoke. Sit then and talk with her. She is thine own. What, Ariel? My industrious servant, Ariel.
Ariel
What would my
enters.
potent master? Here I am.
Thou and thy meaner fellows your last service did worthily perform, and I must use you in such another trick. Go bring the rabble o'er whom I give thee power, here to this place. Incite them to quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art. It is my promise, and they expect it from me.
Presently?
With a wink.
Before you can say come and go, and breathe twice and cry so, each one tripping on his toe, we'll be here with mop and mow. Do you love me, master? No?
Dearly, my delicate Ariel. Do not approach till thou dost hear me call.
Well, I conceive.
Ariel exits.
Look thou to be true. Look thou be true. Do not give dalliance too much to the rain. The strongest oaths are straw to the fire i' the blood. Be more abstemious, or else. Good night, your vow.
I warrant you, sir, the white cold virgin snow upon my heart abates the ardour of my liver.
Well, now come, my Ariel, bring a corollary, rather than want the spirit. Appear and partly. No tongue, all eyes, be silent.
As soft music starts playing, Iris enters.
Ceres, most bounteous lady, thy rich lease of wheat, rye, barley, witches, oats, and peas, thy turfy mountains where live nibbling sheep, and flat meads that with stow them to keep, thy banks with buoyant and wild breams, which spongy April at thy head betreams, to make cold nymphs chaste crowns and grows, whose shadow the dismissed bachelor loves, being less lorn, thy pole-clipped vineyard, and thy sea-marged sterile and rocky heart, where thou thyself dost air the queen of sky, whose watery arch and messenger am I, bids thee leave this, and with his sovereign grace, here on this grass plot in this very place, to come and sport. Her peacocks fly amain, approach rich Ceres, her to entertain.
Ceres enters.
Hail, many-coloured messenger that ne'er dost disobey the wife of Jupiter, who with thy saffron wings upon my flowers diffusest honey drops, refreshing showers, and with each end of thy blue bow dost crown my bosky acres and my unshrubbed down. Rich scarf to my proud earth, why hath thy queen summoned me hither to this short grassed green?
A contract of true love to celebrate, and some donation freely to estate on the blessed flowers.
Tell me, heavenly bow, if Venus or her son, as thou dost know, do now amend the queen, since they did plot the means that dusky Dis my daughter got, her and her blind boy's scandaled company I have forsworn.
Of her society be not afraid. I met her deity cutting the clouds towards Paphos, and her son, dove drawn with her. Here thought they to have done some wanton charm upon this man and maid, whose vows are that no bad right shall be paid, till Hymen's torch be lighted. But vain, Mars's hot minion is returned again. Her waspish-headed son has broke his arrows, swears he will shoot no more, but play with sparrows, and be a boy right out.
Highest queen of state, great Juno comes, I know her by her gait.
Juno enters.
How does my bounteous sister? Go with me to bless these twain, that they may prosperous be and honored in their issue. Honor, riches, marriage, blessing, long continuous and increasing. Hourly joys be still upon you. Juno sings her blessings upon you.
Earth's increase and poison plenty, barns and garners never empty, vines and clustering branches growing, plants with goodly burthen bowing. Spring come to you at the farthest, in the very end of harvest. Scarcity and want shall shun you. Ceres' blessing so is on you.
This is a most majestic vision, and harmoniously charmingly. May I be bold to think these spirits?
Spirits which by mine art I have from their confines called to enact my present fancies.
Let me live here ever. So rare a wondered father and a wife makes this place paradise.
Juno and Ceres whisper together and send Iris forward.
Sweet now, silence. Juno and Sirius whisper seriously, there's something else to do. Hush and be mute, or else our spell is marred.
You nymphs called naiads of the winding brooks, with your sedged crowns and ever harmless looks, leave your crisp channels, and on this green land answer your summons. Juno does command, come, temperate nymphs, and help to celebrate a contract of true love. Be not too late.
A group of nymphs enter.
You sunburned sicklemen of August weary, come hither from the furrow and be merry. Make holiday your rice straw hats put on, and these fresh nymphs encounter every one in country footing.
Some reapers enter, who join with the nymphs in a graceful dance. But suddenly Prospero starts up and speaks, after which, to a strange, hollow, and confused noise, all the spirits vanish.
I had forgot that foul conspiracy of the beast Caliban and his confederates against my life. The minute of their plot is almost come.
Prospero turns to the spirits.
Well done, avoid no more.
This is strange. Your father's in some passion that works him strongly.
Never till this day saw I him touched with anger so distempered.
You do look, my son, in a moved sort as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels are now ended. These our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are melted into air. Into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, ye all which it inherit shall dissolve, and like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a wreck behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness. My brain is troubled. Be not disturbed with my infirmity. If you be pleased, retire into my cell and to repose. A turn or two I'll walk to still my beating mind.
We wish you your peace.
And they both exit.
Come with a thought, I thank thee, Ariel. Come.
Ariel enters.
Thy thoughts I cleave to. What's thy pleasure?
Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban.
Aye, my commander. When I presented Ceres, I thought to have told thee of it, but I feared lest I might anger thee.
Say again, where didst thou leave these varlets?
I told you, sir, they were red hot with drinking, so full of valor that they smote the air for breathing in their faces, beat the ground for kissing of their feet, yet always bending towards their project. Then I beat my tabor, at which, like unbacked colts, they pricked their ears, advanced their eyelids, lifted up their noses as they smelt music. So I charmed their ears that calf-like they my lowing followed, through toothed briars, sharp furs, pricking goss and thorns, which entered their frail shins. At last I left them i' the filthy mantled pool beyond your cell, there dancing up to the chins, that foul lank o'erstunk their feet.
This was well done, my bird. Thy shape invisible retain thou still. The trumpery in my house, go bring it hither. For sail to catch these thieves.
I go, I go.
Ariel exits.
A devil-born devil on whose nature nurture can never stick. On whom my pains humanely taken, all lost, quite lost. And as with age his body uglier grows. So his mind cankers. I will plague them all, even to roaring.
Re-enter Ariel with glistering apparel.
Come, hang them on this line.
Prospero and Ariel hang the apparel on the clothesline and remain invisible. Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo enter, all moist.
Pray you, tread softly that the blind mole may not hear a footfall. We now are near his cell.
Monster, your fairy, which you say is a harmless fairy, has done little better than played the jack with us.
Monster, I do smell all horse piss, at which my nose is in great indignation.
So is mine. Do you hear, monster? If I should take a displeasure against you, look you.
Thou wert but a lost monster.
Good my lord, give me thy favour still. Be patient, for the prize I'll bring thee to shall hoodwink this mischance. Therefore speak softly. All's hushed as midnight yet.
Aye, but to lose our bottles in the pool.
There is not only disgrace and dishonor in that monster, but an infinite loss.
That's more to me than my wetting. Yet this your harmless fairy, monster.
I will fetch off my bottle, though I'd be ours for my labour.
Prithee, my king, be quiet. Seest thou here? This is the mouth of the cell. No noise and enter. Do that good mischief which may make this island thine own forever, and I thy Caliban, for I thy footlicker.
Oh, give me thy hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts.
Oh, King Stefano! Oh, worthy peer! Oh, worthy Stefano! Look what a wardrobe is here for thee!
Fuck
Let
you.
it alone, thou fool. It is but trash.
Oh ho, monster! We know what belongs to a frippery. Oh, King Stefano!
Put off that gown, Trinculo. By this hand, I'll have that gown.
Thy grace shall have it.
The dropsy drown this fool. What do you mean to dote on such luggage? Let's alone and do the murder first. If he awake, from toe to crown, he'll fill our skins with pinches, make us strange stuff.
Be you quiet, monster. Mistress Line, this is not my jerkin. Now is the jerkin underline. Now, jerkin, you're to lose your hair and prove a bald jerkin.
Do, we steal by line and level, and like your grace.
I think that for thee, I thank thee for that chest. Here's a garment for it, which shall not go unrewarded when I am king of this country. Steal by line and level's an excellent passive place. There's another garment for it.
Monster, come, put some lime upon your fingers, and away with the rest.
I will have none on it. We'll lose our time, and all be turned to barnacles or apes with foreheads villainous low.
Oh, monster, lay to your fingers. Help to bear this away where my hogshead of wine is, or I'll turn you out of my kingdom. Go to, carry this.
And this.
I and this.
Suddenly, you can hear a noise of hunters. Various spirits enter in the shape of dogs and hounds and hunt the gang of three about. Prospero and Ariel set them on.
Hey, mountain! Hey!
Silver! There it goes, Silver!
Fury! Fury! There, tyrant there! Hark! Hark!
Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo are driven out by the dog spirit.
Go charge my goblins that they grind their joints with dry convulsions, shorten up their sinews with aged crumbs and more pinch spotted, make them that part of Cato Mountain.
Hark, they roar.
Let them be hunted soundly. At this hour lie at my mercy all mine enemies. Shortly shall all my labors end, and thou shalt have the air at freedom for a little follow and do me service.
Everyone exits. Act 5, Scene 1, still before Prospero's cell. Prospero enters in his magic robes, as well as Ariel.
Now does my project gather to a head, my charms crack not, my spirits obey, and time goes upright with his courage. How's the day?
On the 6th hour, at which time, my lord, you said our works should cease.
I did say so when first I raised the Tempest. Say, my spirit, how fares the king and his followers?
Confined together, in the same fashion as you gave in charge. Just as you left them, all prisoners, sir, in the lime grove which weather fens your cell. They cannot budge till your release. The king, his brother, and yours, abide all three distracted, and the remainder mourning over them, brimful of sorrow and dismay. But chiefly him that you termed, sir, the good old Lord Gonzalo. His tears run down his beards like winter's drops from eaves of reeds. Your charm so strongly worksome that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, sir, were I human.
And mine shall. Hast thou, which art but ere attach a feeling of the reflection, not myself, one of their kind, that really as sharply passion as they be kinder moved than thou art? Thou, with their high wrongs I am struck to the quick, yet with my nobler reason gazest my fury. Do I take part, the rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. They being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend not a frown further. Go release them, Ariel, my charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll fetch them, sir.
Ariel exits.
Ye elves of hills, brook standing legs on groves, and ye that on sands with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune and do fly him when he comes back, you demi-puppets that by moonshine do the green sour ringlets make, whereof the yew not bites, and whose pastime is to make midnight mushrooms, that rejoice to hear the solemn curfew, by whose aid, weak masters though ye be, I have bedimmed the noontide called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and azured vault set roaring war. To the dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. The strong based promontory have I made shake, and the spurs plucked up by the pine and cedar. Graves at my command have waked their sleepers, oped and led them forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic here I abjure, and when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do to work mine, and upon senses that this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff, bury in certain fallows in the earth, and deeper than the ever-flowered sound I'll drown my book.
To solemn music, Ariel re-enters. Then Alonso, with a frantic gesture, attended by Gonzalo. Then Sebastian, attended by Antonio. of Sebastian and Antonio enter together, attended by Adrian and Francisco. They all enter the circle which Prospero had made, and stand there, charmed, which Prospero sees and speaks.
A solemn air, the best comforter to an unsettled fancy cure thy brains now useless. Bird within thy skull. There stand for you all spell stopped. Holy Gonzalo, honorable man. Mine eyes, even sociable to the show of thine, fall fellowly drops. The charm dissolves apace, and as the morning steals upon the night, melting the darkness, so their rising senses begin to chase the ignorant fumes that mantle their clearer vision. Listen. Oh, good Gonzalo, my true preserver and a loyal sir to him you followest. I will pay thy graces both in word and deed most cruelly. This thou, Alonso, use me and my daughter. Thy brother was a further in the act. Thou art pinched forth now, Sebastian. Flesh and blood. You brother mine that entertained ambition, expelled remorse and nature, who with Sebastian, whose inward pinches therefore are most strong, would here have killed your king. I do forgive thee, unnatural though thou art. Their understanding begins to swell, and the approaching tide will slowly fill the unreasonable shore that now lies foul and muddy. Not one of them that yet looks on me, or would know me, Ariel, fetch me the hat and rapier in my cell. I will discase me, and myself present as I was sometime Milan. Quickly, spirit, thou shalt ere wrong be free.
Ariel helps to attire him and sings.
Where the bee sucks, there suck I. In a cowslip's bell I lie. There I crouch when the owls do cry. On a bat's back I do fly. After summer merry. Merrily, merrily shall I live now under the blossom that hangs on the bough.
Why, that's my dainty Ariel. I shall miss thee. But yet thou shalt have freedom. So. To the king's ship, invisible as thou art, there shalt thou find the mariners asleep. Under the hatches, the master and the boatswain, being awake, and force them to this place, and presently I prithee.
I drink the air before me and return or ere your pulse twice beat.
Ariel exits.
All torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement inhabits here. Some heavenly power guide us out of this fearful country.
Behold, Sir King, the wrong Duke of Milan Prospero! For more assurance than a living prince does now speak to thee, I embrace thy body, and to thee and thy company I bid a hearty welcome.
Whether thou beest he or no, or some enchanted trifle to abuse me as late I have been, I not know. Thy pulse beats as of flesh and blood. Tasadi, the affliction of my mind amends, with which I fear madness held me. This must grave, and if this be at all a most strange story, thy Duke to my resign and do entreat, thou pardon me my wrongs. But how should Prospero be living and here?
First, noble friend, let me embrace thine age, whose honor cannot be measured or confined.
Whether this be or be not, I'll not swear.
You do yet taste some subtleties of the isle. that will not let you believe things certain. Welcome, my friends all.
Prospero turns to Sebastian and Antonio.
But you, my brace of lords, were I so minded, I here could pluck his highness frown upon you and justify you traitors. At this time I will tell no tales.
The devil speaks in him.
No. For you, most wicked sir, whom to call brother would even infect my mouth, I do forgive thy rankest fault, all of them, and require my dukedom of thee, which perforce I know thou must restore.
If thou beest Prospero, give us particulars of thy preservation. How thou hast met us here, who 3 hours since were wrecked upon this shore where I've lost. Thou shalt have to point to this miraculous. My dear son Ferdinand!
I am Wolford, sir.
Irreparable is loss, and patience says it is past her care.
I rather think you have not sought her help, of whose soft grace for like loss I have sovereign aid, and rest myself content.
You, the like loss.
As great to me as late and super double to make the dear loss have I means much weaker than you may call to comfort, for I have lost my daughter.
A daughter! Oh heavens! Out they were living both in Naples, the king and queen there. That they were. I wish myself no better than that oozy bed where my son lies. When did you lose your daughter?
In this last tempest, I perceive these lords at this encounter do so much admire that they devour their reason and scarce think their eyes do offices of truth. Their words are natural breath. But howsoever you have been jostled from your senses, know for certain that I am Prospero, and that very duke which was thrust of Milan, who most strangely upon this shore where you were wrecked was landed, to be lord on it. No more yet of this, for this a chronicle of day by day, nor a relation for a breakfast, nor befitting this first meeting. Welcome, sir. This sells my court. Here have I few attendants and subjects, none abroad. Pray you, look in. My dukedom, since you have given me again, will requite you with as good a thing, at least bring forth a wonder, to content ye as much as me my dukedom.
Here, Prospero runs upon Ferdinand and Miranda, sitting and playing chess.
Sweet lord, you play me false.
No, my dearest love, I would not for the world.
Yes, for a score of kingdoms you should wrangle, and I will call it fair play.
Ah! If this prove a vision of the island, one their sons will I twice lose.
A most high miracle.
Though the seas threaten, they are merciful. I've cursed them without cause.
Ferdinand kneels.
Now all the blessings of a glad father compass thee about. Arise, and say how thou camest here.
Oh, wonder, how many goodly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is, a brave new world that has such people in it.
'Tis new to thee.
What is this maid with whom thou wast at play? Your elder creatures cannot be 3 hours. The goddess that had severed us and brought us thus together.
Sir, she is mortal, but by immortal providence she's mine. I chose her when I could not ask my father for his advice, nor thought I had one. She is daughter to this famous Duke of Milan, of whom so often I have heard renown but never saw before, of whom I have received a second life and second father. This lady makes him to me.
I am hers. But oh, how oddly will it sound that I must ask my child's forgiveness.
There, sir, stop. Let us not burden our remembrance with a heaviness that's gone.
I have inly wept or should have spoken ere this. Look down, ye God, and on this couple drop of the blessed crown, for it is you that have chalked forth the way which brought us here.
I say, Amen, Gonzalo!
Was Milan thrust from Milan that his issue should become kings of Naples, or rejoice beyond a common joy and set it down with gold on lasting pillars? In one voyage did Claribel her husband find in Tunis, and Ferdinand her brother found a wife, where he himself was lost. Prospero his dukedom in a poor isle, and all of us ourselves, when no man has his own.
Give me your hands. That grief and sorrow still embrace his heart, that doth not wish you joy.
Be it so. Amen.
Ariel re-enters, with the master and bosun following amazedly.
Oh, look, sir, look more of us. I prophesied if a gallows were on land, this fellow could not drown. Now blasphemy that swears the grace overboard, not an oath on shore. Hast thou no mouth by land? What is the news?
The best news is that we have safely found our king and company. The next, our ship, which, but 3 glasses since we gave out split, is tight and and bravely rigged as when we first put out to sea.
Sir, all this service have I done since I went.
My tricksy spirit.
These are not natural events. Thou shake them from strange to stranger. Hey, how came you?
If I did think, sir, I were well awake, I'd strive to tell you we were dead of sleep, and how we know not, or clapped under hatches, where but even now, with strange and several noises of roaring, shrieking, howling, jingling chains, and more diversity of sounds, all horrible, we were awaked straightway at liberty, where we, in all her trim, freshly beheld our royal, good, and gallant ship, our master capering to eye her on a trice, so please you, even in a dream we were divided from them, and were brought moping hither.
Was't well done?
Bravely, my diligence. Thou shalt be free.
This is a strange amaze, as e'er man trod. And there is this business more than nature was ever conduct of. Oracle must rectify our knowledge.
Sir, my liege, do not invest your mind with beating on the strangeness of this business. At fixed leisure, which shall be shortly, single I'll resolve you, which to you shall seem probable. Of every these happened accidents, till when be cheerful, and think of each thing well. Come hither, spirit, set Caliban and his companions free, untie the spell.
Ariel exits.
How first, my gracious sir, there are yet missing of your company some few odd lads that you remember not.
Ariel enters, driving in Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo in their stolen apparel.
Lads. Every man shit for all the rest, and let no man take care for himself, for all is but fortune. Coragio, bully monster, coragio!
If these be true spies which I wear in my head, here's a goodly sight.
Oh, Setebos, these be brave spirits indeed. How fine my master is. I'm afraid he will chastise me.
What
Ha
things are
ha!
these?
What things are these, my lord Antonio? Will money buy 'em?
Very like one of them is a plain fish, and no doubt marketable. Mark but the badges of these men, my lords, then say if they be true. This misshapen knave, his mother was a witch, and was so strong that could control the moon, make flows and ebbs, and deal in her command without her power. These three have robbed me and this demi-devil, for his one, had plotted with them to take my life. Two of these fellows you must know and own. This thing of darkness acknowledge mine.
I shall be pinched to death.
Is this not Stefano, my drunken butler?
He is drunk now. Where had he wine?
Andrigolo is feeling ripe. Where should they find this grand liquor that hath gilded them? How camest thou in this pickle?
I have been in such a pickle since I saw you last that I fear me I will never out of my bones. I shall not fear fly blowing. Why, how now, Stefano?
Ah, touch me not, Stefano, but that cramp.
You'll be the king of the isle, Sarah.
I should have been a sore one then. This is a strange thing as ilk I'd look on.
He's as disproportioned in his manners as in his shape. Go, Sarah, to my cell. Take with you your companions as you look to have my pardon. Trim it handsomely.
Aye, that I will. I'll be wise hereafter and seek for grace. What a thrice double ass was I to take upon this drunkard for a god and worship this dull fool.
Go to, away.
Hence, and bestow your luggage where you found it.
Or stole it, rather.
The three lads exit.
Sir, I invite your highness and your train to my poor soul when you shall take your rest for this one night. Which part of it I'll waste with such discourse as I no doubt shall make it go quick away. The story of my life and the particular accidents gone by since I came to this isle, and in the morn I'll bring you to your ship, and so to Naples, where I have hoped to see the nuptial of this our dear beloved solemnized, and thence retire me to my Milan, where every third thought shall be my grave.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the ear strangely.
I deliver all, and promise you calm seas, auspicious gales, and sails so expeditious that shall catch your royal fleet far off. My Ariel chick, that this thy charge, then to the elements be free and fare you well. Please you, draw near.
Everyone exits, and Prospero turns to the audience.
Now my charms are all overthrown, and what strength I have is mine own, which is most faint. Now 'tis true I must be here confined by you or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom god, and pardon the deceiver, dwell in this bare island by your spell, but release me from my bands with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce art to enchant, and my ending is despair unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so that it assaults mercy itself and frees our faults. As you from crimes would pardon be, let your indulgence set me free. Imagine me bowing there.
Clap, 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 clap.
And that is
I'm on push.
curtains.
Clapping is difficult on push to talk.
It's intensely difficult. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this Funtime Croakspeare production of The Tempest. Well, this was lovely, wasn't it?
Hell
It was
yeah.
excellent, except for the
Yeah.
part when I got lost because I still have a headache.
Mm. You did wonderfully.
It happens.
It very much does. So, shall we run down the cast list as usual and give everyone a chance to say who they played, even though that's up on the stream right now?
Start
Give
from the
some
bottom.
final. Right. So, give some final words and plug something if they'd like. We'll go from the bottom of the stream, so I'll start. I played Adrian and Francisco, and I also narrated the play. Oh, I'm Akane, by the way. Hi. Uh, Thank you everyone for participating. Thank you so much, Nicola, for organizing. This was lovely and great fun. It was lovely getting to be part of the Tempest. This is the second Fun Time Tempest that we've done. This one with a slightly
Second.
larger cast. That's true. That's true. Um, so thank you all so much for coming and watching. I do very occasional Twitch streams. If you want to check me out, I'm Marissa on Twitch and on Twitter. I'll put a thing in the chat as well. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching and follow Croakspeare. On to Bosun, our very own Bosun.
Yes, I go by Weak Bosun on Twitch, and I played the Bosun. Finally, the dream role. You love to see it. And also some mariners who had one line. Yeah, this was really fun. I was so happy to be able to just chill out and listen to everyone giving absolutely amazing performances. So well done, everyone.
Sorry, keep forgetting I'm muted. Thank you very much. On to Tinka.
Oh, okay. So I played Miranda Display, and I just wanted to thank everyone who watched this stream, who listened to us. I find it a lot of fun, and I also want to thank Nicola, who generally introduced me to the idea of the Croakspeare. So, big thank you.
Aww.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Now on to Sarah.
Hello, I'm Sarah. I played Caliban and Ferdinand. I want to thank everyone in the cast. Everyone did a brilliant job, and thank you everyone for watching. The Tempest was the first Croakspeare play that I ever did. So as if we're looking at sort of dramatic stuff and going full circle, this should be the last play that I ever do on Croakspeare. However, screw that. Here's to many more, hopefully. And
You're
Hell yeah.
organizing one of the next ones.
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
and the only thing I have to plug is that I'm going to try and organize an unofficial version of Winter's Tale, which is going to be chaos, and I hope I hope you all come and try and see it if my organisation goes well.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Moving on to Dasha.
Yeah, hi. I played Gonzalo and like 4 lines from Iris, whoever that is. I had a lot of fun, and I'm a little sad that I was in the server from the very beginning, and I'm only just like getting into it for reals, uh, because it's great fun, and I want to thank everyone because that's like the highlight of this uncertain times. um, yeah, I've got nothing to plug. I literally do nothing, so yay.
Yay.
Trans rights.
Trans rights. And we're so happy to have you here. Moving on to Heim.
Yeah. I played Stefano, Alonso, Zamasta. I've been a person screaming for the past 2 hours, and yeah, it's been fun. Got on the plug, so
Oh, thank you very much. Moving on to RJ.
Hi, I'm RJ. I played Sebastian, Trinculo, Ceres, and Ariel. It was a lot of fun. This is great. I enjoyed doing this immensely.
Oh, thank you so much. Do you have anything to plug?
I do not.
Then we move on to Prospero and organizer Nicola.
Hello, I am Nicola. I organized this whole thing. I played two brothers who are awful to each other. I am on a quest to play all Antonios in the Shakespeare plays, as you might have seen. I also played
Wonderful
Juno.
goal.
Black Lives Matter rights and have the safe beginning of the Pride.
Hell yeah. Happy Pride Month to come. And thank you all so much for joining us, both in the cast and in the audience. We'll be doing a raid. I believe we'll be raiding Jamie Topples, a friend of one of our Croakspeare actors. So please stick around for the raid if you want. Don't forget to follow Croakspeare on Twitch and on Twitter to stay updated for when we do fun things. Next up, most likely either the Winter's Tale or we have an official Croakspeare event coming up on Friday, June the 5th at 2:30 p.m. British Standard Time. We will be doing a double feature of some W.S. Gilbert plays, Pygmalion and Galatea, and Engaged. That's bound to be a lot of fun. That is next Friday, so please come and join us there. Come and join us for the next fun time production of The Winter's Tale. And we will see you at the next stream. Thank you so much for watching, everyone.
Yay.